First I'm going to say I'm very proud of our players and the way that they competed, because we know when you watch Illinois, you know that that they pride themselves on it. You see it. You can see it on film. You saw it tonight. They play with great toughness. They play with great togetherness. And we've got to be able to match that. And I thought we did. I thought we matched it in so many ways. And we did a lot of things that we needed to come in here and do today. They're a very, very hard team to defend. They're a hard team to score against. They're very, they're maybe not as experienced as Illinois, but they're very experienced players and accomplished players. And have now had the year sitting out or the year working, with John and his system. Certainly knew how well coached they were. And John is, I don't say this with anything other than the greatest respect. He's one of the best coaches in the country. And the league's got a lot of them. Well, there's no question with his staff. And they're so on top of everything. And I really admire how he's built this. I said before in our pregame, I wish we could have built it much the same way. The rules were different. We couldn't take a fifth-year guy. He's done a great job of bringing in the transfers, signing recruits, letting them get ingrained in his system, and then they're ready to go. And I think that's really impressive stuff. I think it's a fifth-year guy like he did at Inky, but they're going to be really good for a long time. And what I saw on our team today is that we have a lot of chance to be very good too, because we fought, we battled, and it was the first type of game of this environment when it comes to a Big Ten game for so many of our guys, and we just didn't get the result that we wanted at the end. But we did so many things well. Still have obvious things that we have to improve, and still with all that being said, with the turnovers and things like that, we were still right where we needed to be in regulation, and even really right into the last little bit. But again, what Illinois does, what they do as well as any team I've watched all year, is, and it's something we say and preach and talk about all the time, you've got to get 70% of the 50-50 balls in a game. And we fought like crazy. We were right there in the middle of it, but they got just a few more. And that's a sign of where we've got to get to as a team, because we've done it as a program, so now we just got to get there as a team. And it's a sign of where they are as a team inside the program, and I think it's going to serve them very well. That kind of hustle and effort and intensity is going to carry them a long way, and we're going to learn a lot from it.
I think it was 2 made field goals in the last 12 minutes or so. Just what wasn't working on offense in the second half?
What were our free throw attempts, Zach?
Well, there were a lot of free throws.
Where were we in the bonus?
I think it was.
What about the 11-minute run?
Yeah.
Okay, the bottom line is that we need to get to the foul line, and we were averaging 31 free throw attempts a game. They're giving up 16. So the bottom line is that was going to be a fight today to get to the foul line. So made field goals and things like that, I think I'm a little more focused on the turnovers that didn't give us a chance to get to the foul line, or didn't give us a chance to get an offensive rebound. The bottom line, when you get into the bonus like that on a team like that on the road, you've got to take advantage of it the best that you can. Now, with that being said, we missed some shots. We couldn't have got a much better shot at the end of the game. I mean, end of regulation with Evan. It was just a shot, just didn't go in. It was a great look. We practice situations. We practice those type of situations all the time, especially this time of year where there's more time to put them in so many different places where you call timeout or where you don't call timeout. And against a team like Illinois, it's very, very difficult to get the ball in bounds against. And at the same time, he has in his arsenal what any good coach would have is the ability to switch defenses. We were in control of the ball, in control of the look we were going to get versus it being against what the defense would make us take. So there's always going to be some misses that you get that you'd like to have back. There were some other opportunities that we would have had to drive the ball to the basket. But for the most part, when you're shooting 30 free throws, you're getting a lot of good things done.
You mentioned the shot that Evan got. Basically, did you draw anything up on that play, or was it just?
That's a set play, and it's also something. Now the look came after the movement, but that's a play that had been used in and out of the day that we'd had success with. It wasn't anything; it was just a missed shot. But there's about 3 or 4 things that we have that we would use without a timeout. In that situation, that give you the 2-3 look. Give you any of those type of looks. So no regrets in that, and at the end of the day, we needed every time out in the overtime anyways, to be able to set our defense, especially because we had to utilize it the way we did at the very end of the game, so we got a great look. I mean, that could have gone a lot of different ways with the look, and he got really good.
You mentioned availability yesterday, talking about.
Mentioned who?
You mentioned, I didn't say a person yet. You mentioned just the idea of trying to figure out when to bring guys in and out based on fouls with the new rules and everything like that. How much were you kind of going through with that with Noah down the stretch? Basically, what kind of made you decide to play him when you did it?
Absolutely. At some point, you just got to ride it. That's what we did at the very end. But we played that. The foul troubles hurt us. He had some turnovers, some big ones that he'd like to have back. We wouldn't have been in a position in the game without him throughout the game. And what happened is they put more and more tension on him in the second half, which in turn freed up for Morgan. And I think really it was a big part of us getting into the bonus just based on the way he was being played. So to me, that just becomes, there's no set rule on that. Hunter was doing fine. You don't want to play a long time without Noah. I thought Devin Davis went in and gave us good minutes. Jeff Howard was a potential starter going right up until the beginning of the game for us, and that was before yesterday. That was last week, but he has not been as healthy as he needs to be. Jeremy got banged up in the game, so I don't think he was as healthy in the second half. They really tried to fight and tough through it. So we were a little bit of a mixed bag inside. Played 4 guards a lot, but I don't think any of those things really affected us, and it was too bad we didn't have Noah at the very end. And I thought Troy, the play we ran, it was going to be a tough catch there either way. At the end, we almost got it off.
You guys maybe could have
Go
done it.
ahead, I'm sorry.
Was there any confusion when there was a foul on 10 and or 1 at the start of the overtime? I thought Vinley had fouled out. You took him out.
No, there wasn't any confusion. There wasn't any confusion on whether the referee in front of me called it.
Okay.
So I mean, I think what happened is I didn't look at this. The coaches were on this. I think they put 1 on the board. I think I don't know. I was not concerned because the referee right in front of me called on that. So.
But you did take Vinley out at that time.
Well, that's because it was going to be a long overtime. That had nothing to do with that play. I mean, if John's smart. I mean, he was going to go right at him. I mean, and he did. Every time we got a foul, he went right at him. So we were doing the same things. When we got the matchups we wanted in the first half, we had that in foul trouble. We were going at the guys we wanted to go at. And that's part of the game. But we took him out because we knew it was going to be a long overtime there. And just kind of see how it go. I miss him over here.
What do you think of the way Yogi played career high points and everything?
That was great, but I'm more impressed with how tough he played. And the fact that he did not come out of the game in the second half of the overtime. And it probably at the 10, 11 minute mark, 8, 9 minute mark for sure, I'm thinking, I've got to get him a blow, But he never did, you know. I think a couple of errors that we had late were him trying to make plays. That's what you want him to make. With the passes inside the line, we saw the roll there. And I thought he played excellent. I think he's one of the best guards in the country. I have for a long time, and I think he's got a lot of growth. I think he'll continue to get that growth, and I thought he went against some of the better guards in the country today.
Put a lot of trust in Stan today, obviously putting him on Rice a lot. Just what was your sort of general
Well,
impression of him and how he did on that
The
side?
key with people like Rice is you got to keep your chest in front because they want angles, and they overpower you, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on the whistle every time they catch you. And Stan is strong enough to deal with that forearm push off, okay, that he uses. Stan did a pretty good job of trying to keep him in front of him the whole way. Stan's a tough guy. In the last 7 games, he's got our highest plus minus. So he's been moving up the ladder for us. We're very confident in him moving forward.
Anything else?
But I mean, we didn't have, in a game like that, we're going to be freshmen on seniors, freshmen on juniors. There's no way around it. We're going to have that all year long. So it's a great time for him to learn to do that. I thought Troy Williams went in and did some really good things today. Really good things. Go ahead, Mike.
Turnovers and bunches, you had 6 in a row.
Turnovers and bunches.
Yeah, seemed to be a consistent foul for a couple of the losses. You're just losing touch with the base of the game for a little while. 6 in a row in the first half. 6
Oh,
possessions.
your math is so much better than mine. Where do you go to school? Central Michigan, I didn't get that class. No, I'm just joking. I really looked at the game sheet on that. We got too many turnovers. So, bottom line is we played through. I don't know where you're going with that. I think we all know that we have some turnover issues. I think we're trying to correct those. I think we just lost the game by 3 points. And I thought that we had some costly turnovers in the game. I thought we created some good movement out of being aggressive. We have to play with more, I don't want to say intelligence as much, because that's an obvious thing. We've got to slow down a little bit. We've got to play fast, but we've got to play with a better pace, because the games are really intense. And there's no question that the turnover difference was a huge difference in the game. And we've got to continue to work on that, there's no doubt.
Tom, all 6 of Noah's shots came in the first half. I mean, I know the second half he got in foul trouble and maybe was limited as to what he could do, but were they doing anything different on him?
Well, they put a lot more pressure on him. I mean, he was a big part of the game. I mean, with being at the glass, getting to the foul line. And some tough turnovers, you know, when we threw the ball inside there. But I mean, you saw what he's capable of on the perimeter. And we want to be able to get into where he's more of a driver. I thought when we did go to him, you know, the charge, 2 charges or 1 charge? I had the 1 charge. What was the other call right before that? Mike knows. You keep track of the turnover. What was it? Which one did he have right there? Serious. I mean, right before, he had the charge, but he had the one right before that.
Trying to get a trap.
Trap, yeah, so we're trying to go to him in those areas and get something out of it there. But he battled, he played hard, and we got to continue to get him more comfortable on the perimeter so that he can drive the ball more. He's our matchup.
Some of his turnovers, how critical is just that when he gets off the defensive rebound?
It was very critical. Yeah, that's 50-50. It came from behind the screens. And we work every day, you know, it's ball security. We work every day on the pads and people trying to knock the ball out of each other's hands with the sparring mitt boxing glove things. And you know, it's something eventually we won't do. You know, we won't do it. We didn't do it last year. We had guys that played a lot more games. I mean, it's just going to take some time for us to understand everything matters. You know, every part of it matters. But we did do some things, obviously, that we'd like to have back. I'm sure John could look at the same things that he'd like to have back. But the good news is we went out there and fought hard. We played over our mistakes. I thought we played over mistakes we made turnover-wise more than we have maybe in the past. We didn't get our head down as much. But we got to keep getting better. Anybody else?